Hello and welcome to another episode of $0 to $1 million per year. On this channel, we are going through this journey together, and I'm just watching the market dumping right now. Let's see. Yeah, so 0 to 1 million per year trading Nasdaq scalping futures on 1 minute time frame. And as you can see on the charts, the markets are open. I should be starting these streams a little bit earlier because the markets are open right now, and I think we are in the order block. However, on the 5 minute time frame, we are within this order block, hitting the mid gap of the opening range. Normally, I would treat this as an entry. However, we have created lower lows here, so this order block becomes a little bit weaker. So let's see. It seems like we are planning to close this gap, maybe even completely. We do have this opening range gap as well. It's very tempting to try and enter a trade somewhere here because we have taken these lows. We are right now testing New York high from yesterday. The gap is almost closed. We are already bouncing a little bit. Let's take a look. That was a quick gap close. I was actually considering entering a short before the stream, but I said I won't be trading off the stream, so I did not enter, which is fine. We have taken theoretically this loss. I think we are going to go a little bit lower. Where is the RSI is oversold? Oversold, yes. This one deeply in red right now. Okay, so a bounce is on the table. Definitely. Wow, that's a big 5-minute candle. And I will actually too late. If we go from here to the upside, I will take a quick stab. Let's see. Okay, so I'm filled. Let's see if this is going to materialize in a loss or win. Interesting. Let's see. If it's a loss, then it's fine, I guess. Worth a stab here. Okay, stopped out. It was worth it for me. First loss for the day, we'll see. Wow, that's a massive down. We closed the gap right now, so I have a feeling we might actually move up from here. Close the gap, midpoint. There is a lot of levels here, and I think I will try that again if I see some strength, to be honest. Let me move to the 1 minute. You see all these levels. The gap is completely closed now, so that's perfect. One gap, second gap. Damn. Candle number 7. This is like a huge candle. No news today. so tempting. I'm gonna have to buy this one more time in a second. Okay, so I'm yet again in the trade. We lost about, what was it? 10 points, 20 points, something like that. I'm gonna put my stop again below these lows. So looking for a reversal here, at least to 723, something like that. So let's see if this is going to materialize in a quick bounce to the upside or not. We'll see. Just looking so juicy. Probably not the best style of trading, but let's be relaxed. Come on, Nasdaq. We closed the gap here, so we have two gaps here. I think it should go a little bit higher. And we are on the buy candle in a second on the 5-minute chart, so will it give us the bounce we want? Let's see. This is a really good area to bounce from. So if it doesn't bounce, then, well, I don't want it to just wake me out of this trade, but I am not willing to move my stop loss too much. Either goes from here or not. It's 40 seconds to the close of the 5-minute candle. And we will be in the buy candle. The buy candle is a little bit tricky because it may dump a lot or it can actually shoot up, so we'll see. The 1-minute candles don't look very well here. Six. 668. 668 is the daily opening gap. 12th November. Shoot, I did not notice that. Oh, okay. So my stop really should be below 660, to be honest. Do I want to move it there? I don't know. It's too late. 668. This is exactly the daily opening gap today. So that's been tested. Wicked me out of the trade. Let's see. Now I want to wait a little bit before entering. Which chart? We are looking at 1 minute. I'll show you the 5 minute. It's a little bit cleaner. Okay. Let's see, because I think we should have the first presented fair value gap. Now the 1 minute is really overextended right now. I do expect a bounce, but I'm looking at realistic level. This is like way overextended now. Okay, we have some, these gaps were quite important previously here. And I do believe we have order blocks here. So could this provide a little bit of support, or just going to keep dumping? Did we have some news today? I don't think so. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Okay, so a little bit of support of those first presented fair value gap. This has to bounce. Where would we catch a knife here again? I'm gonna buy here again. Let's see. I'll give it a little bit of room to see what it is going to do. My goodness. What's going on? Okay. This is weird. My trade copier didn't actually work. Okay. So this is 11th November, first presented fair value gap. We now tested the bottom of the opening range gap of the 11th November, which is here. We broke through it. Where is this thing going? Let's see. Okay. Is it just going to keep dumping today? Seems like that. Yeah. Okay. We need to wait a little bit now to see what's going on. Now I have a feeling we do have this order block here on the 15-minute time frame. Which is here. It's not this line. Take a look. Might be the target, potential target for rebound. This would be a similar trade idea as yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on that. And there is this order block here, which basically is more or less in line with our 15-minute order block. So that could be a strong support. This is dumping like crazy today. What is going on? Okay. We have a little order block here as well, which time frame? Looking at 5 minutes. Okay, here. That seemed to be providing a little bit of support. And really, shall we try once again? I will set my buy order above the candles here on the 1 minute. Okay, this would be also this fair value gap, zone 1. 5 minute is a little bit better to look at right now, because we can see a little bit more on this chart. Okay, I am in the trade right now. Let's see if this is going to materialize in anything. Stop, 1 minute chart. Stops below this. If it goes below, I don't really want to be in the trade. So let's see how far it can go. This order block could be potential support on the 5 minute. Let's take a look at what's going on. In terms of targets, 675 would be nice. But again, we will see. Okay, just noticed something as well. There is a massive pocket of liquidity below the lows we talked about yesterday. This is around 452. It may actually be going down there to take this liquidity before moving higher. So this trade, it seems like I'm going to get stopped on again. This will be the last trade for now. We're gonna have to see how this is going to resolve. because it is clearly not stopping. Still there. There, okay, you're looking at 1 minute. There is a small gap here. We've got some bullish divergences here. Not that it does mean a lot, but we do have this small gap, which really I want to get in to see inverted. So basically, I want the candles to stay above it. That would potentially indicate a reversal here. So we had this massive dump candle through all the lows, liquidated everyone I can see. And now if we can sustain this price action here, then this is could be a good indication to go higher actually. We need a break of structure obviously. So let's see if this can resolve itself somehow here. The first target I would be looking at is around 670, 675. Okay, it's at least something. 670, 75. Let's see if we can get there at all. So it used this. Now this would be, no, this is the gap. So we have a first value gap. So first value gap. So basically I would like this to be a runaway gap. So leave it open, shoot to the upside if we are going to reverse. Small break of structure here, which is good. But we are not out of the woods just yet. Okay, so that looks promising if we can sustain this. So we bounced, we did not cross the midpoint of this gap, which is good. Hopefully we can break through these gaps too. That would be indication to go a little bit higher. So let's see if this is going to happen. The view of the EMA is far above us. This is the bottom of today's opening range gap. So I would be definitely looking to exit in this area. Plus we do have the daily opening low and daily opening gap high from today in this area as well. So let's see. The 5 minute looks a little bit shitty, to be honest. We took these lows, which is a good sign. Always liquidity in the market. We bounced off this order block here. We left a lot of gaps, one gap, second gap, and there is a third gap here, which we are working now. I really want this gap to be closed. Like that, I want the candle to go above it, then move to the upside. So let's see. Need the full view of this chart. Okay, the 1 minute looks promising for now. Candle number 7, so candle number 9 would be sell candle. We are rejecting of those first presented for value gaps, 10th and 6th November. These are also the lows from 11th November that is seen on the 15-minute chart. So let's see. I am 16 points in the profit after a few losing trades, so really nothing interesting here. I don't really want to move my stop loss to break even here because my entry price is 606, so I'm break even right now. But we do have this gap, which is promising. If it is going to invert this gap, it may indicate we actually go lower, so I will be looking to close this trade. Stop is below these lows. Yeah, so it seems like we rejected those gaps. which are the lows as well on the 11th. Let's see how the bodies close. I will move it here, and now we are working on the new gap here, unless we are not. Okay. So right now tested this order block. So we broke the structure on the 1 minute here. We moved down and we tested this order block. Normally we don't go to this, the lower order block here, I noticed, so wouldn't count on it, but we do have this was a first indication that it may want to go a little bit higher. Now this looks really good. And we are looking hopefully at inverting the gap on the 5 minute as well. So I really want this to go higher from here. Am I going to get this? I have no idea. Deeply in red so far, so could use a little bounce. I think I can move my stop loss now a little bit. So the trade looks, I am looking at the trade, so the trade looks like that right now. Had some losing trades, I need to do the math on them. I'll do this a little bit later. I want to see if this trade works out. We are in the 10 AM macro as well, which is 10:10. Needs to be very careful here. This was a first, this is like a ladder, so this was a first step. I didn't want this to get inverted, to show you. I didn't want this to get inverted. So we did not do that. Instead, we tested this order block, moved higher. This is higher high. So now let's see the 5 minute. On the 5 minute, what worries me is this gap here. Okay, you can see there is a gap between those candles. And this was the first gap, which was the runaway gap. And this is the second gap, which we may actually accumulate off to go a little bit higher. This looks promising, being inverted as we speak. So let's see if this is going to develop. 33 points. Should I hold this trade for a little longer? Why not? 588. 588 is my stop right now. 40 points. I wonder if we can get break even. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, okay, we are approaching my first target, so I will have to take at least a partial here. So sell one part if we reach there. Okay. This is daily opening gap low right now, so this may, and it's also a gap on the 5 minutes, so this is the area I'm worried about. And I think, what am I thinking? I'm thinking I'm going to give it a few moments to resolve itself. But the target 670, It's more or less here, 670, 675. I want to sell another part here. So limit. That is if we can get there. If not, I am pretty much ready to close this trade. Let's move stop to break even, obviously. Okay, so now we are, it's a little bit too early to say, but right on this line is the top of the first presented fair value gap. On the, this is first presented fair value gap on the 6th of November. It seems like we are bouncing off it, testing it. Don't like these dojis, but candle number 7 on the 1 minute as well. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. If it goes any lower, I'm closing the trade. Taking these lows is fine. Okay, let's close this. Ah, that's a bad feel. Okay. Nonetheless, not bad overall in terms of this specific trade. I thought it's actually going to go a little bit higher to test the opening range gap low. I think we can delete that. This is the low. I think we can get rid of this gap on the 15-minute. Okay, it still may go higher from here, but okay, so this gap is fully closed. These lows I am referring to, this bothers me a lot. Okay, whenever you see those really equal lows, that's like a lot of liquidity below these lows, this low and these lows. And we didn't really tap into this liquidity on the 10th. We barely moved a few points below it, and I'm pretty sure there is more here. So I'm worried that it might actually go lower to grab this liquidity. We did not do this here, but now on the 15-minute looks crappy. So we broke to the upside, we tested this order block. This was like a super trade. We talked about this yesterday. I said midpoint of this candle. Look at that. Boom. And we actually broke the structure here to the upside. Okay, so higher high, higher high, higher high. So this dump here really could be two things. Number one, test of these lows, or test of the high of this gap again, which I doubt it is. And number two, we broke the low here. Okay, so this is break of structure. It may actually bounce to the upside, maybe even from here or from here. Bounce to the upside, then down. So you need to watch this chart very, very carefully. Normally, that would be a perfect entry area, like it was here. Okay. So after the break of structure, we went down, tested the order block, shoot to the upside. Today it doesn't look so juicy. Nonetheless, let's see and watch. Okay, 1 minute time frame. Let's not miss anything here. 1 minute time frame. What is going on here? Broke the structure 1 minute. Now we are actually moving, maybe to even test this order block here. This could be potential relatively low risk trade idea. 577. That is relatively low risk. I want to see how it develops, but I am keeping an eye on it. We actually tested the high of this order block already, 582. See? On the micro, we actually tested the top of the body of the candle. On the Nasdaq, it's a little bit higher. So we tested the candle, but not the opening body of the candle. So let's wait. Same happened on the 15-minute chart. I think it was yesterday. Okay, I will have to do the math on, actually that should be fairly easy. That's a lot of points today. That is a lot of points down today. Almost, wow, almost 190 points. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so we did some reckless trading to start the session today. That last trade I can be proud of. Could have probably exited somewhere here, but wanted to see if we can go higher. We still may, after test of this candle. So this could be a first higher low. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see some comment in the chat. Yeah, hi there. First day here. Okay, on this channel we are learning. There is also a link in the video description. You may want to watch it. This will explain the math and everything behind the idea, the plan, and how are we going to get to the goal. The path is definitely not easy. You are familiar with trading, that's awesome. Tell me, what kind of strategies do you trade? ICT concepts. Yeah, so ICT concepts, I do like ICT concepts a lot. I am by no means an expert at it. I'm still learning. There is tons of material to go through, and it's basically quite hard to learn, to be honest. But what I like about them is the idea of actually entering at discounted prices. Because with majority of my strategies, previous strategies, normally I was entering like at the breakout candles, say strong 5-minute candles, etc. With ICT concepts, you enter at a deep discount usually, if you know what you are doing, obviously. So my strategy. Okay, so my strategy, I am trying to actually trade ICT concepts here. Okay, not a very good start of the session today, I must say, but generally speaking, our previous sessions were quite successful. And the main ideas I am trying to apply here are actually ICT concepts. So entering in discount zones, entering my favorite strategy right now, I can show you on the 15-minute chart. My favorite strategy is waiting for the market structure, a break. So for example, we are making higher highs, okay? There is a break of structure, and the last down candle before the break of structure is my order block, main order block, which I'm looking at. So yesterday on the 15-minute chart, we had a perfect idea, perfect trade idea, and perfect actually view of this strategy. And the market was moving down, okay, exactly to the midpoint of that order block, which is here. Okay, this would be my entry. I did not enter here. I entered prematurely. I think I scooped like 20 points out of it. But if you entered exactly at the midpoint of this, then you can see what happened. And that actually happens a lot. That's why I'm looking at this chart today. And I am actually seeing two things. First one is the break of structure again here. But now we created a lower high and we broke market structure here. So to me, this trade idea right now is not as strong as it was here. So I'm not sure if I'll be entering of this order block. This is my favorite because that is like the deepest discount you can get. Not always it goes to this order block. For example, on the 1-minute chart, this is actually visible right now. On the 1-minute chart, we were just dumping like crazy today, lower lows. Okay, we broke the market structure here. Okay, so the furthest down candle of this move is here. This is the down candle, this is the order block. The midpoint of this order block is here. Oh wow! Oh, look, while I was talking, we actually hit the order block here perfectly to the tick. Okay, so this would be perfect entry idea, and I could probably scoop 30, maximum 40 points so far. I normally go for 20 to 30 points. It can actually go much higher from here, but we'll see. It's a little bit too early to say. So my trade here in ideal world should look like this. Okay, this is a perfect trade. I was talking and looking at the 15-minute chart, so I did not notice that. Usually, quick dump to the order block, midpoint, boom, 1 to 2, risk to reward, 18 points stop loss below the order block. Okay, give it a few points here and take 2 to 1 reward to risk. Perfect trade here, very quick as well. Yeah, so that is my favorite strategy. Now, this is theory. The execution is you have to be patient. And that is what I'm still missing. Like I said in the description, this is my kind of, trading, learning journey. So it will take a while. Okay, but I missed that. This would be perfect, absolutely perfect trade. Yeah. So now we wait and see. Hope this explains quite a lot here. There are a few more concepts as well I am trading. Fair value gaps. So I think we can see that on the 5-minute. Again, I was trying to catch a knife, falling knife at the beginning of the session. Probably what I should not be doing. But right now here on the 5-minute chart, you can see we created this massive gap. This is called breakaway gap or runaway gap. Okay, and then we have this another gap here. So this is a gap that normally I notice they accumulate off. Okay, so this gap should stay unclosed. This gap is the accumulation gap. So another trade idea here, this time to the short side, could be of the top of the bottom of this gap. The stop loss is a little bit tricky because this can go actually up to the top, up to the bottom of this fair value gap. So really, your stop should be higher here, or even above the midpoint of this. Well, maybe not that high, to be honest, but I would definitely keep it somewhere like here. So this is a 5-minute trade, probably a longer intraday trade. And I would probably still target like 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. Okay, so this would be the trade idea. I will leave it on the chart actually. And we'll see if this is going to materialize in anything. You could also scalp here quickly, so on the bottom of this second gap, just scoop like 20 points, 30, 40, wow, could scoop like 80 points maximum here. The order block on the 1 minute, if you reference the 1 minute chart, order block was at 577. I would probably be exiting if I was scalping this at 580. 580, so somewhere, so what am I looking at? 580, 585. That is 585, 585. So that would be my exit if I had patience to wait for this trade to play out. 70 points. Nice. Not that I'm doing this consistently. So, yeah, like I said, I'm learning. Okay, so let's watch the price action and see if we can scoop anything out of it. I will leave the 5-minute trade on here. Let's see if we can hit the top of this opening range gap. Okay, so here we have interesting situation. This is actually the first body that penetrated the midpoint of this fair value gap. Normally C would have break of structure here to the downside and then accumulation and then move down. This still may happen, okay, because we touched on the low of this first gap. Again, it's a little bit tricky here because we use this order block as a springboard to go to the upside. Let's see how this plays out. This could be going lower actually to fulfill this trade on the 5-minute chart. One of the ideas also I was thinking to implement in my trading strategy is actually trading of the edge of the first fair value gap. This happens a lot. We accumulate of the second gap, then we go up to touch the low of the gap, the first gap, the runaway gap, liquidate all these stops above these highs, and then move down. This actually happens a lot as well. The risk here could be much lower. Position, short entry here. Then I would definitely put my stop above the midpoint of the gap and maybe target 2 to 1. Boom, winning trade. Nice, so I missed 2 winning trades now. And this was 37 points and this one was 24. Okay. Very little drawdown here. Pretty much no drawdown here. Okay, it's 10:30, so initial balance is set as well. So let's have it on a chart. And let's mark the 11 a.m. as well. Okay, so what is going on here? This is the gap we inverted, but I don't think that's going to hold. I'm actually going to delete that. We don't need this one too. By the way, we are still in this massive volume imbalance, my goodness. So I have this chart on my, this is the 1-day chart on my other screen. And we have this huge gap between those two candles. Those are daily candles. This is also a weekly volume imbalance here. Massive gap, massive. And my goodness, Nasdaq is working it hard now. This is what usually happens as well with these gaps. So drop down. We didn't have any price action whatsoever. So this is why it's called imbalance. So we need to now provide price action in both directions through this volume imbalance to basically balance it. And my goodness. Still within it. Okay. I'm going to extend it a little bit because God knows how much time we will spend here. It's cluttering my charts. Okay, we're gonna have to keep an eye on it on the 1 minute chart. Okay, we are dumping. Okay, so the 5 minute trade is now fulfilled perfectly. And that would have been 120 points. Wow. Nice. Missed it. So I missed a lot of trades today. And I took a lot of bad ones, which I still need to do the math on. So let's see if we can scoop anything else. Okay, take this low. What time frame are you looking at? I will add this to my chart. This is the big pool of liquidity. We're going to mark this on all my charts as well. Oh, okay, that's bang in the middle of the value gap on the 15-minute time frame. Look at that. This is the liquidity pool. Low, 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 low gap. When we use this gap, this is like super important level. I think we're gonna take it. Plus we still have those big gaps below us. Plus we have weekly opening gap, which is this gap. I completely forgot about this. This needs to be tested. This massive gap needs to be tested. We have the opening range gap, which is not closed. Yeah. I need to keep an eye on this. Almost touched, well, actually, we touched the order block, and again, I missed it. For goodness sake. Look at that. So we fulfilled this trade I was talking about earlier. This is 120 points. It's crazy. Now we had this order block. Now I have it marked on my 15-minute time frame, but realistically on the 5-minute time frame, it's actually here, midpoint. Almost touched it. Well, in fact, we touched the order block because this is the top of the order block, okay? So we touched it, maybe 2 points, drawdown. If you entered off the top of it, that would be a bigger risk because your stop really, I mean, the minimum stop loss would be here. Ideally would be below this wick. But if we go below this wick, then we have this liquidity pool, which powers me a lot. And we have lots of these levels and the gap and opening range gap. Everything is below us here. So it's tricky. Nonetheless, we could scalp a few points out of it. 50 points. Bye. Okay, so let's keep an eye on it. Now, would I be entering again if we touch this? Tricky question. Let's move to the 1 minute, see what's going on. So on the 1 minute, this could be a short entry now. I wasn't paying attention again. Broke the structure here. How perfectly we are working these gaps, my goodness. These two gaps are crucial. Break of structure. Order block. There's one order block. And this, I'm not sure if I would consider this. This one I quite like. And I believe there is a volume imbalance between the two, which I believe work here. I would put my stop loss here. And 2 to 1 is here. Did we get it? Well, that's a little bit depending how you placed your stop loss. See, 607. I normally give it like 5 points. 12, so 12 is here. Yeah, so that probably if I waited for 1 to 2, then we would be break even on this trade. The stop loss would be already break even. Would I wait for it? Doubt it. 20 points. Oh, I may. I normally want at least 20 points. So that's tough. That is tough. Wow. Okay. This still looks like it wants to go down. I'm a little bit afraid to enter. Then look at that. Accumulation. Touched top. This is textbook. Wow. This is textbook. Accumulation touched top of the gap. Break of structure. Definitely. Can't argue with that. Move up. Again, this is the same gap. Order block. Went a little bit higher above the order block. So maybe we should actually use this one. Which pretty much according to my rules, this is the one we should use, but I said I didn't like it. Use the order block, boom. Nobody's crossing the midpoint of this gap. Nobody's crossing above the midpoint of this gap. This was just a quick grab of liquidity. Man. Could enter here as well. Of the edge of this gap after break of structure. The stop here is tricky. Okay. One more thing. This week, okay? A lot of times we test 0.25, so which is the lower quadrant of a lower part of this week. A lot of times we test 0.5 level. So really the stop loss should be like maybe 0.75 somewhere here, or even above it. Well, anyway, this is one side. I really, really do have a feeling this is going for this liquidity down there. There is not a lot of things that are bullish about the 15 minutes chart right now. Not a lot of things. The only thing that stands for it is the fact that we have the candle number 8 now. So candle number 9 will be a buy candle, and we are in the vicinity of this order block here. This may provide some short-term support for a bounce if we do get there, with stops below 13. That's a big stop here. That line. Okay, so again, RSI is quite oversold. When was the last time we were that oversold? 25. Oh, it can go lower. 20. Even 18. Recently we've seen that. And even lower here. So it likes to do this a lot actually. On the 15-minute chart, which is what we might be doing actually. Close all these gaps, touch on the weekly gap. I need to remember about this opening, about this weekly opening gap here. This is major. Usually around Tuesday or Wednesday, we do get a test of it. So maybe it's time now. This weekly opening gap from 20th. Okay, see that gap. That gap got closed. Let's delete that. And that weekly opening gap was 20th. 20th October. Wow, it's a long time ago. Okay. Let's see what's going on the charts. But right now, this is the view. I think we are going to break through these lows. As this. Keep it like that. This is huge. Can keep this chart like that. Candle number 8. This is the only thing that speaks for a bounce to the upside. Plus this little order block. Maybe we see a little bounce. I don't know. 1 minute. Warning candle. Still plenty of space to go. I would definitely not be entering of this down candle here. Definitely not after break of structure. Can go to the upside from here, but that would be a super high risk. After all we've seen here. So I'll try to stay patient. Okay, testing the initial balance on the downside. That's not good. Could enter a short scalp, I guess. Quick scalp to the downside. But that's not part of my strategy here. No. Okay, I will remove that trade from 5-minute time frame, and I will remove those two trades. Okay, this order block has been used, so we don't need that. We also have the tiny gap from yesterday, which I was laughing about, but look at what's going on today. We use this as a rejection point so many times. And I did not mark the first presented fair value gap today. So let's do this, 930, 931. So this is a first gap. This one is huge. I'm actually going to delete the old one. This gap is from 4th November. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to, okay, this is a small gap from yesterday. I'm gonna leave those. This gap from today is, I want to have it on my chart today because we may actually test the low of this gap. So I'll leave it, but really that gap was closed apart from this small piece at the top. So let's mark this first presented fair value gap here and this is 12th November. This is a big gap. Look it on the chart. And let's see what is going on. Okay, that sell side is taken. So let's remove it. No sell side here. Some buy side. Anything? We have some buy side here above this highs. It's building the liquidity here, you can tell. It's definitely building this liquidity. Still no quick drop. 11 AM macro. This could be potential for reversal. We were dropping like a stone today. I'm still not buying this. Let's move this to 11.10. I don't have many trade ideas, to be honest, right now. The only potential trade idea I have is in this vicinity here, which is that order block on the 5-minute. This is the midpoint of this order block. We are working the top of it, This would be a quite decent stop loss here, which I don't like. Plus, if we are doing this here, and I think we may actually just go right through it. Despite this chop here, that was quite clear. That was a clear-cut trade here. I mean, so many candles here. With bodies, none of these bodies are even trying to cross the midpoint. This is ideal entry. This here is textbook. I think I'm going to print this out. So what's going on most recently? Lower low, lower low, lower low. This could be considered a descending triangle as well. Something like that. Yes, roughly speaking. And we should see a resolution somewhere here. Maybe even a fake out to the upside and then down. Approaching 11:10 as well, so the market should start moving. It's accumulation phase. Just looking what is going on here. Here. Okay, we are on the buy candle on the 15-minute chart. And we are approaching this. It's tempting. It's tempting to enter of that 5-minute order block. And damn, it's scary. 520. Where is 520? I'm just going to check exactly where is the midpoint. 521.25. So this is the midpoint. It does correspond with this gap from 5th November, and below we have a weekly opening gap from 27th October. So I am thinking if I did enter like a quick sharp drop to this line, where would I put my stop loss? It definitely have to be below the weekly opening gap. This is the acceleration line. So if we go below this line, it's highly likely that we will continue lower. If I did 20 points. Okay, it's 11:10. It is time for a market to start moving now. Okay, Should I enter or should I not? Let's enter and let's see. Okay, this is going to be my last trade. 25 points stop for 9.6. I was afraid of it. Okay, so right now took these stops below these lows. I have no confidence in this trade. Okay, all I'm counting on is that order block holding, which unfortunately, let's give it a minute or so. But the order block, the midpoint of the order block is here. Now we tested the midpoint and we are moving lower. Okay, so that's not good. That is definitely not good. Okay, crossing the acceleration line. My stop is just below it, so it will take me out of the trade automatically here. Still in the trade. So ideally, I would like this candle to close above the midpoint of that. Okay, the wicks allowed to make a damage, which it did, but I don't want it to go any lower. It also react immediately of the order block here, which it did not. So it will probably stop me here. So right now it's automatic here, so 10 seconds to the close of this candle. Do we see anything of significance here? Oh my goodness. So far I was less than 2 points away from being stopped. Crazy. Still not out of the woods. I want to give it a chance because of this order block here. It's like I said, zero confidence. They will be moving to the break even probably soon. This could provide resistance now. And I'm gonna start going out of this trade slowly. I would like it to go to 560 ideally, or could this be 11 AM reversal? Potential. This is order block. To exit another. It's a bad feel. Break even. Okay, so we are working that order block. I will move this a little bit. Five sixty, my target here. We do have this order block, okay, and this is, well, could be considered this one as well, but this one is the kind of last one before the break here to the downside. So are there any volume imbalances here between those two candles? Yes. See, that is, I'm gonna get stopped here. Maybe not yet. Here we have this candle, we have this gap here to the upside. Not sure if I'm gonna have time before it stops my trade. As long as we stay above this gap, I should open it up a little bit, but I don't want to. If we drop right through it, then it's clear we are going down. Or we did just tested this order block. Still a little bit of hope. And on the Nasdaq chart, this is the micro. On the Nasdaq chart, between those two candles here, we have a volume imbalance, okay? So look how perfectly it actually hit this. Here, delivery to the upside, delivery to the downside. And now we'll see. Come on, Nasdaq. Candle number 8 on the 5-minute chart. The 15-minute buy candle did not materialize in a lot, to be honest. Maybe, oh, okay. So the buy candle on the 5-minute chart just started. The first 2 minutes of it, we should be going up, hopefully. 5 points. Come on. Okay, mean threshold of this candle. Rejection, not good. That's not good, but let's see if it's got some strength. This was a scary trade, I must say. It definitely wasn't. I wasn't confident about this. It did work out. How many points did we get? 5 to 4. 11 points here. Now it's going down. It looks like it's accumulating on that gap again. We need to be bullish, we need to go above this order block. It's clearly giving resistance here. No break of structure here to the upside. It's like really early stages of potential reversal, if any. Come on. Come on, Nasdaq. Oh. See, it's trying so hard. But look at that. I'll give it a few moments, but it just doesn't look good. The first part of the 5-minute candle is gone now. Finger on the trigger. It's trying. It is trying. $560 actually was my target, isn't it? No bodies crossing the midpoint of this. I want to see bodies above the mean threshold. It is trying so hard. Okay, last minute of the 5-minute candle here. And I am losing my confidence out. I don't care what happens next. Okay. $523 to $546, 23 points. It will probably go below these lows. So it would take me out of the trade anyway. Okay. So didn't reach my target just yet. It just does not. So, okay, so I was kind of right. Let's look at the 5-minute. Okay. The mean threshold of this order block here. This was my trade idea, although very scary because we pretty much violated all the lows on every time frame. These lows violated, this low violated, this low violated, these lows taken, pretty much everything. Everything is bearish right now. So Normally these order blocks provide at least some support for a short bounce. I did not know how far this is going to go and how wide should I open my stop loss here. So this was a tricky part. So my trade idea was to have the stop loss below the acceleration line. If we started closing bodies below this line, then that would be very bearish. I got really close to stopping out for 9625. What the fuck? 496. 497. Okay, that was really close. Okay, maybe a little bit of luck. Here it reversed. Okay, on the 5 minute we did have technically the body closing below, but still within the order block. Oh, it actually went a little bit below again, to probably to the midpoint of this wick. So let's measure it just for fun. Okay, so the midpoint of this wick is just about, okay, 495. It went down to 49750. So yeah, and then it bounced. So this order block has definitely done its job now, and I won't be entering again of it. Now we need to be mindful of what's going on below us. 15-minute time frame. All this thing here, these lows, this is going to be taken. I mean, leaving that liquidity on the table, so not Nasdaq. So let's see. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, it hit my target now. It wouldn't take me out of the trade because my stop was, I don't remember where, to be honest. Okay, my stop was break-even stop 23.75, 23.75, somewhere in this vicinity. So it wouldn't take me out of the trade and would hit the full 2-1. No, not 2-1. I wonder if it's going to hit 2-1. It would have to go above this high. Okay, quite possible. Okay, got it. So yeah, I think we need to draw some lessons from today, because 11:30 is coming. This is the launch macro, and I don't want to be trading anymore today. Lessons for today. Don't try to catch the knife, at least too much, at random levels. So let's actually see my trading charts today, which is messy like crazy. I did some stupid things today I'm not proud of, but since we are very transparent on this channel, then we need to be transparent. Okay, dump on open. This is 932, 934 entered long here. Why did I do this? My idea was, I believe we took these lows, we almost closed the gap. The gap was, today's gap was not fully closed until 677. So a little bit prematurely. So I wanted to be a little bit better. I don't know what was that. It took me out of the trade here. I entered long again, Don't ask me why. Got stopped here. This was, by the way, not trading any of my strategies. This was like, what you call it? You judge me. So that was stupid trade, as I call it. Then I entered here again. This was 654 level. What was I thinking at the time? No idea what was I thinking. No idea. So I took the long here, again, trying to catch the knife. I think it was just, RSI oversold or whatever, just crazy. Dumped here, like crazy. This was the big loss here. And then I started thinking, maybe. Was I thinking? No, I wasn't thinking. So I entered another trade here, got stopped here, I believe. Is this another long here? Okay. So this was the first trade I actually started thinking a little bit. I need to reference charts later to see what was the idea behind this. I think I saw some strength here. And break of structure maybe. I should probably wait until at least we test this order block. This should be my entry here. Okay, with a little bit stop below. Nonetheless, this was a profitable trade for 606 to almost 50 points, which is nice. What's going on here? Did I short here or what? What is this execution? Okay, so this was partial exit. This was the next exit. I think this was the full exit. Here. Okay, then no trades. I missed a few. Then we had a long trade here. And this was the trade, the most recent trade of the 5-minute order block, I believe. Again, I got impatient here. I saw it maybe bouncing off the top of this gap for an early signs of reversal, but no break of structure yet. So I exited partially here, I exited partially here, and I completely lost patience here. Had I waited 2-3 minutes more, I would get full 2-1. Reward to risk. That's it. Yeah, so I still need to learn not to take stupid trades just because. Those order blocks are powerful. Definitely if they match on 15 and 5-minute time frame. So if we look at the 15-minute time frame, okay, this is our order block here. Look at that. Okay, did not go below it. Well, it did technically, but just a little bit. We had this long week, so we need to account for it. So this was a good trade, decent, although not confident about this trade. Still a little bit against the rules, but I was counting on at least a small reversal of it. So now, from the 1 minute time frame, did we break any structure? Well, not really. Look at this. Still at this gap. Okay, we did have some early reversal signs. Okay, violated this high here. Lesson number 3, I need to be more patient. Maybe close my eyes, maybe go to something and just hope and pray. Because I keep missing these larger moves, because I'm getting impatient in these accumulation areas. Very impatient, you saw that. Okay, so that's it for today. I will do the math on today's day and put this in the title. Definitely lost quite a few points today. So we will have to start fresh tomorrow and be a little bit more reasonable about the trades we are taking. Because the trades we are taking in line with the strategies work, definitely. But if we just take random trades, it doesn't end up very well. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. And no trade, no streaming tomorrow. No streaming tomorrow. I have good things to do. So I will be streaming on Friday. Friday is the news day, and I do believe we have some important news. PPI. It's it, and retail sales. So we've got some high impact news on Friday. I'm actually quite surprised how the market has been moving this week, because it was no news pretty much all week. Tomorrow we have big news, consumer price index, CPI, so that's going to move the market, hopefully. And if you are trading, watch out for these levels below us. Okay, this is so tempting to take these lows and close these gaps here. This gray area here entire is the potential drop. Maybe even to this order block. I don't think we will go that low, but this is Nasdaq. And we have major sell side here. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.